welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host. So a little update for you. PNM Senator General John Bates is calling for Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar to name 2 independent senators she accused of asking to trade personal votes or votes for favor. Listen to this.
I am not disturbed by the Prime Minister's comments. I think the independent senators have handled themselves well, and they will do what is necessary in the face of it. I do think that the Prime Minister should name names or should call on her minister to come out and give the relevant facts. I think that is her duty. But I think the independent senators will continue to do what they have to do strongly as they have done.
So viewers, an investigation is ongoing into the disappearance of over $130,000 in missing oil from the Vehicle Management Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, VEMCOT. The disclosure was made on Wednesday morning during a sit-in of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. VEMCOT Chairman Amral Mohammed told the committee that the oil went missing from the compound following the April 28 general election last year. Trinidad and Tobago, this happened last year, April, and the committee is now hearing about it. Listen to this.
When the board assumed duties in September, there was a issue with respect to missing oil to the value of $132,000. Right? The letter came from the OPR concerning an investigation whereby 4 IBC containers of oil were loaded up onto a truck and drove out of the compound the day after the election.
So Trinidad and Tobago, this happened on the compound. Now this is a government compound. Are there cameras to start with? This happened in April, following the general election last year. And the Accounts Committee is now hearing about it. So I want to ask Mr. Mohammed, yes, I understand that there's an investigation going on, but you can tell me, a truck pull up in the company, or a van, or whatever the case may be, vehicle used, load up the oil and left with it, and nobody get the number plate. Where was the security at that point in time that allow vehicles to come in, sign by the gate, and then drive in? You go back out by the gate, you check the vehicle, you ask for invoice, make sure it's there, and you sign it and the vehicle go. What happened to that security? Damn slackness. That's how I put it. In April, this happened last year. We are in February 2026. 2 months from now will be April. And nothing came out of it. Absolutely nothing. So is our vehicle safe in VEMCOT compound? Ask yourself that now, Trinidad and Tobago. Is your vehicle safe there? I'm going to tell you something. From cook to captain was going home. From cook to captain was going home. I'm telling you. And I am very sure the $130,000 is taxpayers' money spent for that oil. I am very sure about that. 1 year now investigation going on into VEMCOT and nothing come out of it. 2 months from now will be April and nothing came out of it. Sad it? It's sad for a compound and a company owned by the government. But nevertheless, we have ministers. We have ministers who have contracts. We have ministers who Saddam said is alleged that corruption took place and they are involved in corruption, are we going to get back corruption money? I want to ask Saddam that question. So Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Mohammed said the board appointed an investigator and the matter is being dealt with. Listen to this.
That matter is under investigation. An independent investigator was appointed and a report was done, and it is now with our lawyers with respect to action that will be taken with respect to the persons who have been, well, I don't want to use the word fingered, but the area that those persons who have been culpable or allegedly that they are at fault. Right? So, yes, that is being done. An investigation, the board didn't investigate, appoint an investigator, and that investigation has been completed and the matter is being dealt with.
So I want to ask Mr. Mohammed, how long will this investigation continue? How long? So on top of that, Trinidad and Tobago, the chairman also revealed that another investigation is ongoing into the outstanding payment of $1.2 million owed to the company by some past employees. Watch now, man. They're running that company jokey, boy. Take what I'm telling you. They should fire everybody. From board to workers to mechanic to security guard and hire a first set of people. $130,000 in oil gone missing. On top of that now, you go tell me $1.2 million is being owed to the company by past employees, and up to now all they get nothing? And taxpayers paying tax to have Vemcot running? I'll let you okay. Somebody done break a jail if they was working for me already. Take what I'm telling all you. Somebody that done break a jail if they was working for me. All I want to see why corruption will continue happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Because everybody lay back, taxpayers' money is being spent, workers going home with their salary as normal, board of directors, security, management, everybody going home with their salary from the government, and to hell was with that. What come out, what they come out, and that's it. Everybody to lay back, nobody to take responsibility. 1 year now and you can find out that? All our security guard was in custody still. You were supposed to be the individual. Assigned. Every truck goes into the company, signed. Every truck come out of the company with load, invoice, checked and signed. Whether it's day or night, that is your job as a security. But then again, when everybody collecting something under the table, what do you expect? We're running like a third world country. So another update, Trinidad and Tobago. The Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, have stated that counseling is mandatory when a police officer is involved in a shooting that leads to fatality. So I want to ask Roger, when a bandit come into a homeowner's house and the homeowner gun him down, the homeowner gun down the bandit, why is it all of us take away the homeowner firearm and want to charge him for murder? How come nobody send that homeowner for counseling, for defending his property? Let's talk now, man. Speaking at the United National Congress press briefing on Wednesday, he explained that after the officer is counseled, recommendation can then be made for him to proceed on leave. Listen to Roger.
Let me explain to you how this procedure really goes. Whenever a police officer is involved in a shooting incident and somebody dies, you have 4 investigators. A senior police officer, Professional Standard Bureau, the homicide, and the PCA for oversight. That is 4. What normally happens is, during that investigation or after the shooting, the police must seek counseling Because sometimes you will sit there and form an opinion on what you thought you saw and what you saw and all of that. And fine, I understand that. The investigation is going on. But there are persons involved. There are victims on both sides now. And that's what I said, and get everybody so upset. The police is also victims. That person don't understand. So they must go for counseling in order to be treated with mentally and otherwise. So when persons made a statement about leave, after the counseling, recommendations could be made for the police officers and them to go and leave as the case may be.
Roger, I understand you have to protect your officers, you know. I understand that. Now, understand what I'm saying. There are officers, you see, from the time you cross 2-3 years in the police service, in a certain department, you become immune. You work in task force, you become immune to killing. I have a lot of friends in police, you know. A lot of friends, you know. And they just take their time and explain things to me. So when I hear a minister or somebody from the police force go up on a media briefing and start talking cattle dung, or donkey dung, or dog dung, you see me right here? We'll explain to all you the do's and the don'ts. You're in task force. You're in a raiding crew. You become immune because when you go out to a raid, you're expecting gunfire. So I want to ask Roger, how much counseling does a police officer need? I understand you had to defend your team, you know, your officers. I understand that. I am fully aware. I understand that. But how much counseling does a police officer need? If you do 10 killing, 10 sessions? I don't know, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm not against your job, you know. You have your job to do, I have my job to do. So viewers, listen to this, Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Senator Eli Zachor has expressed concerns over the increasing usage of mobile phones and windscreen-mounted device for video calls, recording, and live streaming while driving. Trinidad and Tobago, I want to let all you know something. These are third world country, yeah? And Eli now coming to ministership. I want to explain that to all you. Now, while recognizing the benefits of a rapid technological advance, he warned that using mobile phone while driving puts road safety at risk. So come back to me, Director. Come back to me. So Trinidad and Tobago. 1. License officer and police have a law. If they catch you holding a device, it's a charge. That's number 1. If they catch you on your phone while on the road, it's a charge. Number 2. Eli now wants to implement legislations and amendment to maybe charge you now for having a device on your windscreen. He was asked whether the government is considering additional regulatory or enforced measures to address the growing use of windscreen-mounted device for video calls, recording, or live streaming while driving. As such, he said, the ministry is actively monitoring these trends, particularly the use of devices in ways that could undermine existing traffic laws. Listen to this.
The ministry is deeply concerned about the increasing use of mobile and windscreen-mounted devices for video calls, recording, and live streaming while driving, as these practices have the potential to distract drivers, obstruct visibility, and significantly compromise road safety. While technology continues to evolve, the fundamental obligation of a driver to maintain full control of a vehicle and undivided attention to the road remains unchanged. The ministry is therefore closely monitoring the growing trends in mobile and peripheral devices, particularly those that may be used in ways that undermine the intent and effectiveness of existing driving laws.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all to understand, this is a third world country. Today I am convinced, I don't know if Eli, Zachor, and Terence Dial Singh is family. Blood family. Today I am convinced that. Seriously speaking. Now, I want Eli to understand something. I want Eli to understand he's a minister. I want Eli to understand your team may not embarrass you. I want you to understand that. You must not be embarrassed by your team that you have working for you. Mounted device on our windscreen? Really? So tonight now, being the fool I am, I want to ask Eli which one of his family was bounced down by an individual driving a car with a mounted device on the windscreen. I want to be that stupid tonight. Trying to make we are going for a short commercial break. When I come back, I have one video to run again on Eli, and we're going into a discussion. Feel free to call in after.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Eli also added that the main goal is to save lives, to protect life, to promote safer roads. Listen to the minister.
This review is aimed at determining whether additional regulatory provisions, clear definitions, or strengthened enforcement mechanisms are required to adequately address emergent forms of distracted driving. The overarching objective remains that the law be responsive to technological change while preserving the paramount goal of protecting lives and promoting safer routes.
So how does it save lives? How does it promote safer driving? All over the world, I have traveled to a lot of countries, and all over the world, there are devices mounted up on windscreen. Delivery drivers, company official using Google Maps to find where you're living. In Trinidad, we have the KFC driver, we have the Pizza Hut driver, we have the Church's driver, we have all the fast food outlets in Trinidad and Tobago. Their drivers who drive a vehicle have a device mounted on their windscreen. You know why? To find location of where people live in. I use it myself. Judges use it, lawyers use it, doctors use it, bank managers use it, nurses use it, taxi drivers use it. So I want to ask Eli, who are the individuals that gave you these things to come on air and see? Who gave you these sorts of things? So tonight now I want to ask or say, is Eli Ministry working together with TTPS and Licensing Office to bring laws and legislations that would not do recordings? Is that the power move behind it, Eli? Is that what you're doing? You're working with licensing and you're working with TTPS to make sure that individuals do not have devices on them to do recordings, to videotape accident, to videotape officers roughing up individuals. Is that the main goal, Eli? You cannot tell me it's for road safety. You can't. So today I ask myself if you and Terence Yalsing's family. No, I'm telling you, Trinidad and Tobago, I ask myself that today. Because all over the world there are devices mounted on windscreen for GPS. In Trinidad, and now started bringing cars with screens on the dashboard with GPS in it. So I want to know who is fueling Eli head to make him look like an idiot as a foolish minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Eli, who is doing you that? Who is doing you that? Let me tell you something. Do not allow your team to make you look like a fool. Don't do that. It's sad to know a big man like you come up with a stupid thing like this. Some people may not like how I talk, but let me tell you something. I stand up for Trinidad and Tobago. You know, all I can say it, so I say it. Call a good night.
Hello.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Good night, Mr. Saieed. How are you?
Good.
Mr. Saieed, I believe this is setting the stage. Remember Roger Alexander spoke about censoring people taping the police?
Correct, yes.
So now that the judge CPASA come out and say that we are supposed to tape them, so I believe this is just going another wrong way to get at us. With taping police. Yes. This is what I believe. Alexander chaining up Zaku.
Thank you, my dear. Eli, you're a minister. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. What this administration don't understand, they don't. They willfully don't understand that Trinidad and Tobago and the citizens came out of a 9-year struggle, financially and physically, under the PNM administration. The citizens people from the PNM, people from the UNC, people from PEP, they voted for a change. They didn't vote for more frustration. They didn't vote for more suffering. They voted for a change. Not to be tormented. Not for higher increase in tax. That is why the PNM is out and the UNC is in. Now, I relate to the people on the ground. And some of them are wringing their both ears, regretting they voted the UNC. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program from a great soul. You hitting the nail with a pile driver, as always you do. Rowley, remind us of one thing. Raul told us, and we always reminded us, that there are criminals everywhere you go in this country. He was saying crime is difficult to fix because there are criminals everywhere you go. Every corner you go in this country, there are criminals. In the police service, in the defense force, every organization, the public service. He said, and even in parliament, there are notorious criminals. He said, and some of them dressing up like Barbie doll with lipstick and nice, dressing up nicely and so on, coming to parliament. I want Rowley to know, for the first time, he didn't tell a lie. Today, citizens of this country is seeing it, and worse than ever. We never thought it would happen in this country. A bunch of dictators and criminals in this country leading this country. Every day they coming up with some idea to commit crime against the citizens, to oppress the citizens, and nothing to uplift the citizens or carry this country forward, you know. Very sadly, they must take note of even right Guyana. You know what Guyana going now? Belize. They want to have nothing to do with Trinidad. So Guyana and Belize is cooperating to be the food basket of this part of the world. Very sadly. And Zakuru, you is a reject. Nobody voted for you. You is a reject Zakuru. Lying Zakuru. Dangerous Zakuru. Mr. Said, God will richly bless you. You keep up this great job you are doing. This country will fix, you know, and people are waking up wherever you go in this country. People shower praises on you for this program you're doing. Nobody else is standing up for anything that is right in this country, you know, except you, Saieed Ali. God bless you and your staff, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friend. So, Trinidad and Tobago, I'm going to tell you something. You see where we're heading? It's sad to say, but let me hope we don't get next coup in this in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm telling you, I hope that don't happen. I really hope that don't happen. Because 9 years of frustration, good? 9 years by ministers, as Saddam Hussein said, were involved in corruption and took millions of dollars with them to the bank accounts. Today I want to ask Saddam if Trinidad and Tobago is going to ever get back corruption money that left the treasury. That is what we want to find out. How much millions are we going to get back from corrupted ministers that passed through Trinidad and Tobago for the last 9 years? Saddam is a lawyer. He said corruption took place here and there, calling names. Are we going to get back money? Are we going to get back money? The taxes that the UNC government implemented on the citizens, are we going to see an ease of that? Is Kamala another Keith Rowley? Keith Rowley said we're not shutting down Petrotrain, only to realize his government shut down the refinery. Kamala said we're not going to increase taxes. Maybe brothers and sisters, different mothers. It's sad, it's stinking sad. But Eli, I'll tell you this, I hope you could think about what you're doing to the citizens. Think about how your neighbor looking at you. Think about the embarrassment your children facing on a daily basis. Think about that. Think about the embarrassment you're getting on an international level. Because today, I swear to myself, you and Terence Yalsing is family. It's sad. It's sad. Whenever Trinidad and Tobago, UNC governing the country, and them ain't giving up no power, they had to be voted out of power. But I hope Trinidad and Tobago don't have a next coup. A.N.R. Robinson said, use Pomsy tea for apple. Boom shot a coup take place in Trinidad. I wonder what he take for apple. Let me tell you viewers, it have no show in this country like Real Talk. It have no show on television that will alert the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago about their rights, their democratic rights, and what the government not supposed to penalize the citizens. It have no show to educate you all beside this. None. And I don't ask nobody for funding. I'm proud about that. That's why they can't come and break down my door. That could be all a mistake. All I may not see while you're walking. I'm proud to say it. God bless me with a mouth, He bless me with a talent, He bless me with a stand, and I'm using those three things. Call a good night.
Hi, good night, Mr. Saeed. Good night. Lovely program as always. I listen to you every night. But my thing is tonight, I can't believe it. I cannot really believe I heard what I hear this evening on the news. It's alleged. But just imagine this. I was hearing that if, like, you have your home, you have a HDC house, and you die or you die, the house, the government, it's alleged, they want to sell the house. So what will happen to your family? What will happen to your family in an event of this? I mean, when you're living in a house, in a GC house, right? And you die. So what I want to tell me now, your family will be out on the street? Is that is what's going on in this country? I would like to know. I would like to know.
We comment to that, caller. Thank you so much. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we stay now on the licensing department of Trinidad and Tobago. Feel free to call in after the break.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
Trying to make a welcome back. 2386716 is the number to call viewers to make your comments. Call us live. The Minister of Transport, staying on Eli, is assuring that the public that measures are actively being implemented to strengthen internal control, oversight, mechanism, and accountability system at the licensing office and authorized vehicle inspection station. He noted that these efforts are intended to minimize opportunities for corrupt practice and illegal activities, particularly during the current period of heightened demand. Eli.
The Ministry acknowledges the heightened demand at licensed offices and authorized vehicle inspection stations and confirms that measures are being actively implemented to strengthen internal controls, oversight mechanisms, and accountability systems in order to minimize opportunities for corrupt practices and illegal activities. These measures include continuous review of operational procedures, the standardization of inspection and licensing processes, and the expansion of supervisory and audit functions to ensure closer monitoring of transactions, decision-making, and service delivery. Emphasis is being placed on segregation of duties, clear documentation requirements, and improved reporting structure to reinforce transparency and institutional integrity.
So I want to thank him for doing that, Trinidad and Tobago. Hopefully we should see some changes soon. Also, the minister added that specific accommodation have been introduced to support elderly and differently able drivers, especially concerning vehicular inspection and renewing of driver's permit. Listen to this.
Specific accommodations are in place to ensure that elderly and differently able drivers are supported in complying with the law, especially in relation to vehicle inspections and the renewal of driving permits. Systems have been implemented to identify and assist elderly persons where challenges may exist, allowing for priority service to reduce waiting times and physical strain. In addition, designated differently able parking is available at licensed facilities to improve accessibility and ease of movement.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we want to thank him for that also, helping the elderly and the differently able, putting system in place to accommodate them. First come, first serve. That is perfect. We love that. Not that it have 10 people in front of you, healthy, strong men and women, and we have a differently able in the back, or elderly in the back. I thank you for that. Now, Zikr further emphasized that staff have been sensitized to provide assistance, flexible processing, and reasonable accommodation during inspection and renewal transaction. So, Eli, we want to thank you. I publicly want to thank you on my program live. Thank you for doing that for the elderly. So, migrant registration, Trinidad and Tobago, the Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Anil Robert, is insisting that all undocumented migrants must be properly registered in Trinidad and Tobago, mainly for security, accountability, and social protection. This comes as he continues to defend the government move to commence the migrant registration process, warning that failure to do so could have serious implications for the future of this country. Anil.
But those who stay, Kamala wants to get the children in school, because creating children who cannot go to school, leaving them there in their key developmental stages, their growth and maturational stages, means that it doesn't augur well for the future in 10, 15 years. It means that more children would be available to the criminal gangs. And
so, Trinidad and Tobago, Arnold said the move is not just administrative, but essential for the protecting of citizens and safeguarding vulnerable migrant families. He noted that the country is now only confronting the consequence of what he called years of weak border control.
They left our borders porous. I used to go out fishing twice a month and so on and do videos and show all you on Doubles and Coffee, Douglas Politics, that not a vessel was patrolling. The radar wasn't working. The air guard didn't have no plane. The radar on the two plane was not functioning.
So viewers, Anil argued that criminal groups took advantage of these gaps, blending it with legitimate migrants escaping economic collapse. The minister said he believes migrant registration is the only way to bring order, identifying who is here legally.
So we need to register those who are here so that they can be, we know who is here, what skills they have. They could be taxed, they could pay their NIS, children could go to school and so on, as you said. But the PNM left it so unmanaged and mismanaged and totally irresponsible that our country was reeling, not only with increased crime and murder and criminal gangs and drugs and guns, but with just illegality, wildness.
Anil also reminded that the consequence for choosing not to register will be serious. One more time.
We have to be strict, we have to be right, we have to make people pay their fair due, but we have to be humane. And that is Kamala Prasad Bisesa, brilliant, strong, and she rules and governs with a heart. So we want them to register. Those who don't register, well, they'll be in the hands of the police and deportation and all of that. So they will not be able to cry. They will have to go back, and that's how it is.
So viewers, the Trinidad and Tobago cocoa reached a milestone on Tuesday as they are officially certified and protected, making its entry into premium global market. Trinidad cocoa. A launch took place at Miller Fuel and was led by Minister of Land and Legal Affairs with Minister Saddam Hussein and Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Ravi Ratiram. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
So Trinidad cocoa is already a global product. It's sought after by international markets. So what we have done here today is protect the mark and the quality and the standards. So now the CDC, which is the Cocoa Development Company, which is a statutory body that regulates the use of cocoa, they will in fact now be certifying producers and so on to determine whether or not the beans that they use, authentic Trinitario, they meet the standards. So when it goes into the international market, we know this is from Trinidad and Tobago.
The Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, in collaboration with the Ministry of Land and Legal Affairs, is partnering to create better opportunities for cocoa farmers.
We are looking at making lands available for cocoa farmers, expanding growth, rehabilitating some of the existing cocoa estates because we want to boost production. In my speech, I mentioned to you that 1 ton can go for about $8,000 US. We want to ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and in particular the young people, can benefit from those prices.
So viewers, it was a proud moment for the Minister Ratiram, who expressed what this milestone meant for him and for farmers, having their product on the world stage. When asked if he had any worries over duplicates of the trademark, the minister did not seem too concerned.
Having spoken with farmers, farmers are elated, they are rejuvenated, they are re-energized by this landmark achievement. I understand that in other regions they try to duplicate and to clone our Trinitario cocoa, but because of the flora and the fauna You know, the entire cultivation of our Trinitario cocoa, it has not been successfully cloned in any part of the world as yet. So it is extremely important that we undertake the protection of our trademark, the protection of our Trinitario cocoa.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we want to congratulate Ravi Ratiram on this wonderful move. We want to congratulate the cocoa farmers of Trinidad and Tobago to having their cocoa now on an international stage. Good things coming for the cocoa farmers. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to deal with the increases in the HDC and the sales and the transfers of all these. More to come.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisasa has defended a new housing development corporation policy, which has introduced a 5% fee on transfer of properties within families and a 10% fee on transaction involving the sale of its property. This after Housing and Urban Development Minister Randall Mitchell posted a document announcing the new policy on his Facebook page yesterday and slammed the government for the change. Mitchell said that the UNC was now doing what it had accused and dreaded the former PNM administration for planning to implement. Mitchell insisted the adjustment are scandalous because the HGC previously charged $700 for board process, which functioned as an administrative fee for acquiring consent to assign a seller part with interest in the property. He said the new fee cannot be justified. also contacted yesterday, Housing Minister David Lee was not aware of the new HDC policy. So listen this, Listen this. Kamla Prasad Bisasa has defended the new housing policy. Listen carefully, Trinidad and Tobago. She, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, has defended the new HDC corporation policy. But we have on the other side, Housing Minister David Lee was not aware of the new policy. So is Kamla Prasad Bisasa overriding her own minister? I don't know, I'm asking a question. If she is okay with this new policy, and the housing minister is telling Trinidad and Tobago now that nobody contacted him, he knows nothing about this. So is Kamla Prasad Bisasa embarrassing David Lee? This is what I want to ask Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Lee said he only became aware of the policy change when the media house contacted him for a response. He said it was not discussed with him or the permanent secretary at the housing ministry. But hours later, Lee in an interview, he said the fees amounted to a reversal of agency policy. Lee said he had ordered an investigation into how such a change was authorized. So Trinidad and Tobago, come back to me, Director. Trinidad and Tobago, what is really taking place? What is really taking place? We have Kamla Prasad Bisasa, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, telling us on her campaign trail that the PNM implemented taxes to burden the citizen. Boom shot, Eli come out with one set of charges on motor vehicle tickets. So was Eli embarrassing Kamla Prasad Bisasa on her campaign trail? Now that Eli is the minister, is Kamla Prasad Bisasa being embarrassed of her own words, which she said the PNM is implementing taxes to burden the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and they want to tax their way out to make money. When UNC come into power, Christmas morning 2025, new charges on traffic fines. So that Eli embarrassed Kamla Prasad Bisasa. I don't know. I am asking a question and I am free to ask. I am free to ask because they can't come wrong me. Oh, you know, you can't say that and you can't say, Tell me I can light a candle and put your name underneath it. Tell me I can't do that. And I promise you I will tell you what I will do here. So now Trinidad and Tobago, is Kamla Prasad Bisasa overriding the housing minister David Lee, or is she embarrassing him? Which one? Because he ain't know nothing. Kamla siding and say she okay with that. Okay with what? The housing minister ain't know about it. How could you be okay with it as a prime minister? Didn't you appoint a housing minister? So if you appointed a housing minister in HDC Corporation, how come the minister ain't know about this, Kamla, but you now as the prime minister, you siding with the HDC policy? Really? Say something, Kamla. Are you embarrassing David Lee? You see, I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. We don't like to hear the truth. When the truth hits us, we just feel offended. Today, I saw Eli and Terrence were family. I'm telling you. I swear. They say it's a good to swear, but I swear them as family. So now Trinidad and Tobago, just imagine, Lee only become aware of this policy changes when the media house contacted him. And Kamla singing praises to the policy. Imagine this, Imagine this. So what is really taking place in the internal of the UNC government? What is taking place? It's sad. It's sad to know we have a prime minister and a minister who is not corresponding. Who is not corresponding with one another. But as again, in the coming days, we will hear more about it. The Copyright Amendment Bill 2026 was unanimously approved in the Senate on Tuesday, with all 30 members voting in favor. That means the government moves to strengthen protection for local creatives through amendment to the Copyright Act, extending that period during which artists perform and producers can benefit financially from their work. Listen to this.
In the case of joint authorship, the term is calculated from the death of the last surviving author. A familiar example is where a lyricist and a composer collaborate to create a single song intended to be exploited as one musical work. Protection therefore endures until 70 years after the death of the last surviving author, thereby ensuring that a joint creative effort is fully safeguarded.
I want to congratulate the artists and them that they are going to benefit now from their hard work. But listen to this. While the artists benefiting now, I hear they want to tax artists and them now. I hear they want to tax artists. 2 years back, I hint all you, I say, hey, have a tax coming for artists in Trinidad and Tobago. Look at finally reach. 2 years ago, I said that. It's finally here. It's finally here. So while the producers now will inherit the royalties, let's say the royalties now, proper royalties for their hard work, the government wants to tax you now. Now, Hussein added that the move brings Trinidad and Tobago in line with international standards. Listen to this.
Several jurisdictions have increased the term of protection of the author's life plus 70 after the author's death. This appears to be the new global standard for the duration of copyright protection. The United States of America and Europe are critical markets for copyright protected works created by Trinidad and Tobago authors. Most publishers and authors consider it the measure of success to seek and obtain publishing contracts in those markets. They have the extended terms. The retention of the current 50-year term of protection for sound recording will continue to subject right holders to unfair competition in a fast-evolving digital ecosystem.
So Trinidad and Tobago, while they put us, the music industry, with international standards, very soon, they're going to tax artists. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have come to the end of our program tonight, viewers. Well, thank you for logging on. Remember, tell your friends, tell your family about Real Talk with Saieed. We are on Synergy from 7 to 8 p.m. nightly. Viewers, until we meet again, be safe.